Hello everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're joining our live webinar today. First of all, thank you everybody for coming. Let's wait a little more for others to join. While everyone is joining, please let's check our sound and picture. Please comment plus if you see me and hear me well. Let's get to know each other or a little bit better. Please also tell us in the comment where you are from. Are you an agent? Are you a student or your school or educational institution? We're really interested who is watching us today. So while you're commenting, I'll introduce myself a little as well. My name is Nastasia. I am B2B and partnership manager for CIS countries at Educate Online. I was myself an international student. I studied in Swiss University Le Roche in Marbella in Spain. And for more than 5 years, I already help students to receive the offer from their dream universities and school. I hope everybody joined already and we can start. Today I cover 3 topics. The topics will be the first one is the role of educational agencies today. Why is it important still? And we discover why students and agencies still rely on the educational agencies. The key timelines and preparation strategies. I'll talk more about how to prepare yourself before enrolling and while applying to the schools or universities, and what actions should be taken. And probably the most interesting topic, this is admission secrets. So we go through some insider information and tips before enrolling to the school or university. As a part of this webinar, I will share with you some valuable tips and advices that can help your students, or if you're a student to you, to prepare as effectively as possible for studying in another country. So please take your pens and papers and write it down. And also, of course, I invite you to actively participate in our webinar, share your experiences, write your questions. I'll be happy to answer all of them. So I think we can start to our main part. The role of educational agencies. Actually, for many years now, the interest of students wishing to get an education abroad has not waned. Moreover, the industry is actively developing new programs, specialities, and opportunities are still appearing. However, the process of admission or preparation of documents, obtaining visas, remain complex and require certain knowledge and experience. So this is where we come to the rescue. The educational agencies are the ones with whom the stages can be completed without unnecessary difficulties and stress. I will talk about why students choose to work with us. First of all, because we can give the professional, not only we, but educational agencies can give you the professional advice on your choice of specialty, program, university. This will not be just some kind of list that don't tell you anything, list of universities or schools. These are clearly selected options that best meet your request for education and future career plans. All necessary factors are also taken into consideration while selecting these educational institutions. For example, university and program rankings, your budget, employment rate after graduation, and etc. The second point is assistance in preparing documents and submitting applications. We will draw up a clear preparation plan with the deadlines and add the necessary activities so that your students profile can be harmonious and look advantageous compared to the other candidates. We will take care of your application so it's being correctly filled at the school or university portal. So at the first place, it can be seem very easy. What you're supposed to do is just to fill the information, but actually no. For some top schools and universities, filling your profile on their portal can take a few steps and can be complex as well. The other step is the other thing that we help our students is that our experts are people who have gone through all the way from the preparation to successful graduation from foreign universities or school. So they know from their own experience about all the insider information and difficulties, and they can do everything to make your process as easy as possible. And obviously, assistance in obtaining visas and permits. This is, I guess, one of the most confusing points for many students and parents. They actually don't want to even deal with it. So you can always delegate it to us or to any other educational agency. So if we are talking about the agents or schools or universities, they also continue working with the educational agencies because, first of all, we provide them access to a wide network of foreign universities and programs. So we already have a large database of our partner universities, which we developed over many years, who are happy to accept our students or your students and provide us with favorable conditions for enrollment. By that, I mean that the student, especially for CIS countries and Russian students, it's very complicated now to take the IELTS exam, for example. They need to go to another country to take it. And some universities offer their internal English test or any other language test that they require, so they can actually stay home, prepare for it, and take this exam and be as well accepted to the program. The second point is a professional support and consultation. We have an individual approach for our agencies and partners. We select educational programs that meet the unique needs of your each student. Plus, it's time saving. You don't need to waste time on studying a huge flow of information, university, school, everything will be done for you. And of course, the geographic expansion and mutual recommendations by using the global network to attract students from different parts of the world. So thus, educational agencies are indispensable tool for both students and agencies wishing to promote education abroad. So now we move into the next step, which is key timeline and preparation strategies. So your preparation or preparation of your student for enrollment in educational institution will largely depend on what stage the student thought about enrollment and how much time is left for him or her before the start of study itself. So let's talk a little about timing. It is very important to understand that, as I said, the application process itself can be quite stressful. But of course, educational agencies do everything to reduce this stress for the students or agents. But nevertheless, it's always very exciting and important step. And we want the whole process to be smooth, less worrying, and obviously to bring us a positive result. Therefore, timing is very important aspect. If we're talking about, for example, enrollment to a top school or top universities, I'm saying Harvard, Ivy League, and etc., then the whole enrollment process is carried out over a long period, let's say 3 to 2 years. Why is it happening? Because it requires a lot of academic preparation. You need to add some additional activities to which it is necessary to devote a lot of time. If we're talking about less rated universities or schools, then in principle, this is probably the most optimal preparation period, about a year and a half. So this is the best timing. And of course, there are some cases where a student comes at the very last moment. 6 months is still okay, but even several months before the start of the actual intake, here again, everything will depend on your individual case. We have such cases every year, especially when we talk about Russia and CIS countries. Because they start receiving their diplomas by the end of the June, and they actually start the application process at this period. So anyways, we can find some options for them too, but you need to take into consideration that will be fewer options, and most of them will these options will be not the ones you probably want to be enrolled, but the ones left just to be accepted. So again, timing is very important, but this is worth to mention that many educational institutions, they have several intakes in a year. Usually it's two, one in the fall, the main one, in another in winter or spring. Some of the institution has even more intakes, a few in the fall, a few in the winter, spring, and even in summer, but still. So now, when we have decided a little on the timing, let's talk about planning itself. The approach you choose is very important here. So what we use, we call it strategic planning. We love to use it. We believe that this is very first thing you should do during the preparation stage. And actually, in general, when you plan something big or global or some changes in your life, if we refer to the term of strategic planning, this is the process of determining long-term goals and drawing up a plan to achieve them. So this strategic planning is 50% of your success and represents your path from point A. This is your current situation, no matter what you have already done and what stage you are at, to the point B. Point B could be anything you decide to be this point. It could be submitting the documents to your university of your dream, or to live in the country, or anything you decide yourself. So, in a nutshell, the strategic planning includes several points. First of all, you need to analyze and evaluate your current stage. What you have already achieved, what progress you have, what would you like to do in your future. So you have to ask yourself the right question, first of all, and analyze your current situation. By the way, again, the educational agencies help to do it together with you, because sometimes it can be very hard to identify yourself and your current stage. And the second stage is determine your plans and goals for the future. You need to set the specific goal. For example, let's say you would like to become a famous interior designer in Italy. So then we need to strive to enter to the best universities in Italy in this specialty, in this direction, with the possibility of the employment after, or maybe even during the studies, and participation, that your program can include participation in some, let's say, well-known projects with the well-known designers all over the world. The third step is to write down these specific steps for the preparation, taking into consideration the requirement of the university or school you wanted to enter. Usually it includes language studies, English or Italian, if we refer to the previous case, or maybe additional courses in interior design you need to add to create your own portfolio, preparation of motivational letters, CV and reference, and etc. And of course, again, you need to remember about the deadlines, because all of it takes time and you need to use your preparation resources wisely. Okay, so now we move in to the most interesting part of our webinar. This is admission secrets. what you need to know before enrolling in educational institution and during the preparation before you send the student document to the educational institution for evaluation. Of course, there are some standard requirements that probably everybody know. It's actually are openly written on the websites of school and universities. These are the knowledge of the language, and you need to have it at a certain level, and um, you need to confirm it by certificate of international exams, IELTS, TOEFL, or any other international exam that can be accepted by your institution. When applying, you need to pay attention not only to the overall exam score, but also to the score to each individual component, since the certain program, for the certain program, one component must be higher than the other. So you need to be careful and pay attention to that. Then, further, there are academic requirements. Again, as a rule, it includes the average grade point of your diploma and possibly additional academic activities. Here you need to pay attention that different countries have different grading system. So in order to calculate your GPA, you need to check what grading system uses one or the other institution, and you need to convert your grades into the equivalent of that very system. Actually, you can check it in the Google as well, but you need to pay attention to that. So this was the standard requirements, and then there are an additional points that educational institutions require while considering your candidacy, and where this is where the question begins for many students. All these documents show your student profile and include your motivational letters, CV, interviews, or additional project work if needed, references, and etc. As a rule, nothing is written about these points, and no open recommendations are given, but they play one of the most important roles in how you appear in front of the admission committee and on the basis of which you will be evaluated and accepted. Actually, I know a lot of cases when your GPA is below the required level, but if your student profile is really strong, actually admission committee can still accept you and probably can even likely accept you more than the one who doesn't have a strong student profile but have the grades higher than yours. So again, this is very important. What do you need to do so to create your harmonious student profile? Working on your profile, let's say it's some kind of building your personal brand. Many students make one main mistake. They try to fit as many activities as possible into their CVs in order to show how versatile I am and how I succeed here and there. But this is very important to understand that the quantity of the classes and activities is not that important as their quality and how they are combined and correspond with the chosen profession and the purpose of education and your future plans. So, your profile should set you apart from other candidates. It has to highlight your strengths and show that you are truly involved in the area to which you plan to devote your life, if we can say like that. At the same time, of course, you can have as other hobbies or other additional activities. It's also will be a plus for you, but we're talking about student profile, so here we have to focus on the certain direction. So what you need to do, you need to take into consideration 3 points. So every activity in CV has to match and correspond to your future plans. Each phrase of your motivation letter should reflect your strengths, and each recommendation should confirm the strengths and your skills required for chosen specialty and chosen university. So if you have all these 3 points together, you're going to have a great personal brand, which will set you apart from the other students. Yeah. So now that we have collected all the obvious and non-obvious requirements and criteria, you can safely apply to the educational institution of your dreams and wait for your long-awaited offer. And in conclusion, I would like to add another point. Maybe it's not so obvious, but very important as well. This is the preparation before leaving the country if you're planning to study offline. I call it organizational aspects. Again, there are some of the standard requirements, I think, which are generally understood by everyone, but we should mention them anyway. By this, I mean obtaining a visa or all necessary documents and permits to enter the country you plan to go, collecting the necessary things, clothes. It's also important to prepare some finances and accommodation and clarify some administrative issues in advance in order to feel comfortable and safe when you come to the country. In general, the university writes about these requirements, and there are even separate guidelines from the schools and universities that tells in detail what you need to take with you, what you need to plan and take into consideration before leaving. There is an advice from me. Be sure to join student groups and chats before leaving your country in order to share your experiences and always be in touch with the latest changes and requirements. Because probably in the chat, one student can ask the question you didn't even thought about. So it will be very helpful for everybody. And again, there is non-obvious question that students face upon arrival at the university, and I will tell you about this. So you can also be prepared in advance. From my example, as I mentioned before, I studied in Spain, and as you know, the people in Spain are very open-minded. I studied in the area of Costa del Sol, which is the one of the most touristic places in Spain, and obviously. This atmosphere, you don't want to study in this atmosphere, you want to party, but still you have to stay on your track and be a responsible student. So my advice, when you go abroad, you not only change your location, but you also immerse yourself to a new culture. Culture differences can be interesting and enriching, but they also can cause a cultural shock. Which can also lead to demotivation, frustration, and affect your studies. So here are some tips to prepare for cultural differences and avoid the cultural shock. Until departure, I recommend you to explore the culture of the country you go into. So read some books, articles, and blogs about the culture of the country you're visiting. Watch films and documentaries that show life in this country. Learn more about local holidays, traditions, customs. This will help you understand what to expect and how to behave in different situations. And I think most important is connect with people from this country to learn more about their experiences and get advice. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is also a great experience for the locals. They are very happy to help you. So really, don't be afraid to ask if you need the help. So, in conclusion, again, I would say that educational agencies play an important role in the process of admission to foreign universities. In such matter, it is very important that each party of the process has high quality support, and there are experts nearby who are always ready to answer any of your questions and go through the preparation and enrollment process with you. So, if you're in this region and interested in partnership with us, whether you're a student or agent, please don't hesitate to contact me directly via LinkedIn or via my email. It's going to be in the chat. So, yeah, I hope you found this information very helpful, and I'm happy to answer any questions if we have. So, let's see if we have any of the question. Okay, no question. I guess everything was clear. Well, if not, you can always contact me. I'd really be happy to assist you and answer. So okay. I'm sure that our webinar has become a useful resource for everyone who's planning to study abroad or send your student to foreign institutions online or offline. So thank you everybody for coming. Join us for following webinars and learn more and share your experience with us.